Today we're going to practice reading more with our critical reading lenses today. You can have your notes from yesterday out. That could be helpful. And you definitely need a copy of Rumblefish and you need some Post-its. So we're going to start, or I'm going to start by reading from page 61. And we're just going to read a few pages together. I'm going to give you some examples of critical lens Post-its, and then you're going to continue on your own doing two more critical lens Post-its, which you're going to then share one of those on the Padlet. Okay, here we go. Chapter 6, page 61. That afternoon turned out to be more interesting than I'd bargained for. I got expelled, and Patty broke up with me. I went to school about 1 o'clock. I had to check in at the office and let them know I was there. I told them I had been sick that morning, but was okay now. They didn't believe me, but I wasn't going to say I'd been to a beer blast till 5 in the morning. So I'm going to stop right there and I'm going to write one Post-it on the critical lens of morality because I'm realizing Rusty James has some sort of moral code in this sense. I had done the same thing lots of times before, so I was surprised when, instead of giving me a pass back to class, I was sent to see Mr. Harrigan, the guidance counselor. Rusty, he said, shuffling through some papers on his desk to let me know I was taking up his valuable time. You've been to see me before. Yeah, I said. I can't stand for people to call me just Rusty. It makes me feel like I'm not wearing my pants or something. Too many times, he said. I was wondering what was coming. I mean, I didn't go in there and waste his time on purpose. All they had to do was quit sending me there. We have decided that we can no longer tolerate your kind of behavior. He went on to list all the things I'd been sent to the office for that year: fighting, swearing, smoking, sassing the teacher, cutting classes. It was quite a list, but I already knew about it. He acted like he was telling me something I didn't know about. My mind went kind of blank. There was something about Mr. Harrigan that made my mind go kind of blank, even when he was swatting me with a board like he had 2 or 3 times before. All of a sudden, I realized he was kicking me out of school. I'm going to stop there because at the end of that page, I'm realizing I can read this page through the critical lens of power. We have arranged for you to be transferred to Cleveland, he was telling me. Cleveland High was the school where they sent everybody they didn't like. That didn't bother me, but Biff Wilcox and his gang ran Cleveland. Since our fight, Biff and me had left each other alone. He stayed in his neighborhood, I stayed in mine. But if I just walked into his home territory, I was a dead man. It'd be me against half the school. Biff had his chance to fight me fair. He wasn't going to try that again. Sure, I'd go to Cleveland. All I needed was a submachine gun and eyes in the back of my head. I don't want to go, I said. Look, I've done lots of things worse than cutting school for half a day. Why now? Rusty, he said, they're equipped to handle your kind in Cleveland. Yeah, they got bars on the windows and bulletproof vests? He just looked at me. Don't you think it's time you gave some serious thought to your life? Well, I had to worry about money and whether or not the old man would drink up his check before I got a part of it, and whether or not the motorcycle boy would pick up and leave for good. And I had a cop itching to blow my brains out. Now I was getting sent to Biff Wilcox's turf, so I didn't have much time for serious thinking about my life. I gave some serious thought about punching Mr. Harrigan. I mean, they were kicking me out anyway, but I was still a little hungover, so I decided not to waste my energy. I'm going to stop right there and do another Post-it. I'm realizing with Rusty James listing all of those issues that he has about surviving day to day, money, making sure his father didn't drink up all of the money that he was supposed to give to Rusty James, making sure the motorcycle boy doesn't leave, making sure that the cop doesn't try to kill him. I think that kind of indicates something about class. So I'm going to write a Post-it about that. You start at Cleveland next Monday, Rusty, Mr. Harrigan said. You are suspended until then. I won't go, I said. The alternative is the Youth Detention Center. He rattled his papers again to show that my time was up. The Youth Detention Center. Big deal. Those guys had a lot of paperwork to get straightened out before they came after me. I had weeks to think of something to do before they showed up. I left his office with the intention of heading straight for his car and slashing his tires, but I ran into Coach Ryan in the hall. Now you're going to continue reading through this chapter on your own, and I want you to write 2 more Post-its about the critical reading lenses, any of those 5 that we talked about yesterday, and we will have something to post that you'll share some of your thinking. Good luck.